I tried every fragrance under the Dreamer collection, so you don't have to. This video also serves as a quick buying guide for anyone interested in trying out the Dreamer collection. So the Dreamer collection consists of 3 fragrances by its release. First one is Vieux Papier, Eclat Noir, and lastly the third one, Memoir de Montagne. So before we start, I've tried all of the fragrances under a sample or decant. I don't have the budget to buy all of the 3 fragrances here, but rest assured, I will give you my honest opinion on all of these fragrances. So, Memoir de Montagne, the last piece of the Diva collection. Memoir de Montagne is a fresh gourmand fragrance. Yes, fresh and gourmand. Cool, right? It has a prominent note of green mangoes and cinnamon. So, Memoir de Montagne opens up green, a bit aromatic, and nutty. I'm definitely getting the green mangoes and cinnamon accord here. It gives off this underlying nutty feeling into the fragrance. This fragrance has a lot of greens as well. I'm getting this leafy type of accord that blends really well with the green mango and cinnamon accord. There is also crisp, airy aromatics that kind of resembles the air here in our province. Then as it dries down, this underlying creaminess of the coconut is just there, giving it depth. You guys know that I'm a sucker for coconut. The DNA of this fragrance is a bit linear, and I prefer it that way, because simple is best. I can definitely say that Memoir de Montagne captured one characteristic of one province. Crisp, airy, greens from the mangoes and bamboo, freshly served suman, and coconut water. This fragrance evokes lots of memories for me. For the performance of Memoir de Montagne, this one is pretty moderate, around 4 to 6 hours of longevity on skin with moderate projection, and personally, I prefer it that way. I think if this fragrance becomes too strong, it kinda defeats the purpose of this fragrance. Since this fragrance evokes serenity and tranquility, it makes it perfect for everyday wear. Next we have here is a crowd favorite, Eclat Noir. Now, Eclat Noir categorize this as a full-on gourmand fragrance as opposed to the other one. So, Eclat Noir opens up dark, sweet, warm, spicy, a bit fruity, and some underlying booze from the cognac. This fragrance resembles a black forest cake with a cherry on top. Then, there's wood right beside it. If you love cocoa or dark chocolate, this might be up your alley. The good thing about this fragrance is that despite being a gourmand fragrance, it's not overly bearingly sweet compared to other gourmand fragrances on the market, meaning Eclat Noir isn't hard to wear since it doesn't put as much in the heat. On the dry down of Eclat Noir, it's a mix of cocoa, chocolate, vanilla, and hints of booze from the cognac, which smells absolutely fantastic. This fragrance is suited for formal events, date nights, or when you want to stand out. Out of the 3 fragrances here, Eclat Noir is the strongest out of all. I get around 8 plus hours of longevity on skin with Eclat Noir, and it projects strong for more than 2 hours. Last on the list is Vieux Papier, the first fragrance that was released under the Dreamer collection. Now this fragrance, I categorize this as a vetiver fragrance. And what do vetiver fragrance resemble? Old money and luxury. So Vieux Papier opens up aromatic, spicy, fougere, and a bit earthy and mossy. This fragrance evokes old money and luxury. I kinda get the resemblance on this fragrance to paper bills, like freshly withdrawn money from the ATM. Okay, so picture this. You're wearing a vetiver fragrance or a fougere fragrance and have gone to your local bank. Then you went to the ATM and withdraw fresh printed paper bills. That's the vibe often getting here with Vieux Papier. I am a big vetiver and fougere fan. I really love how this fragrance is constructed because it definitely has that old 90s fougere type of fragrance in its DNA. I would even say that this is a modernized version of those fougere fragrances back in the day. On the dry down of Vieux Papier, it's earthy, woody, leather, and mossy. It's so masculine that I love it so much. Definitely my favorite out of it. Vieux Papier is your Swiss Army knife, meaning you can use this fragrance on any occasion, whether if it's dressing up or dressing down, formal events, or at office. It works on any occasions. This is also pretty strong to say the least, so it ensures it can last the whole day. So that wraps up my buying guide of Sir John Parilla's Dreamers collection. Did you find my video helpful? And what fragrance are you planning to buy under the collection? Let me know in the comments below. Yanlen out.